following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
You're just too smart for your own good. All right, folks, welcome. This is the Meeks Show live here from the pizzeria, which is brought to you by Sabine State Bank. We got got the coach here. We got to our far left right now, just on the board. Got Larry. Come on, Ref Pierce, and we're gonna get right to it, Coach. We played a very good, very tough team in Madisonville and came out with an exciting 17-14 second field goal to win the game. I mean, it doesn't get much better.
It doesn't.
At least from
And
the excitement
it was great for
perspective.
the fans, right?
I mean, you'd rather be putting the third team in and
That's
take
right.
a
I would rather be a
victory
little
L.
more comfortable on the sideline, but it was a great game. Kids played great, um, and played really good in all three phases. I mean, it took a total team effort. That was a really good team we played Friday, and so leaving there victorious and the way that we did it
Yeah.
is really big right now in this time of the season.
And I'll say this. I mean, we knew the defense was really good, but I can tell you what, there's some tough. They're tough as shoe leather on there. Because tell you what, that was 4 quarters of getting, of having to tackle this guy that looked like a bowling ball.
Right.
And I think he only got loose once or twice. I mean, and I think Madisonville is used to that happening more often. But man, that just takes a lot of just grit to
Yes.
be able to stand in there and tackle that guy play after play after play.
That's right. We played great up front defensively and in the box. Linebackers played really
Hmm.
good. Um, and did a really good job trusting their keys, which we knew we had to, because we had to be the attacker, because of how good they were at running the football, and we knew we had to win first downs, and we did a really good job of that. So, did a good job of trusting what we saw and playing downhill, and
Hmm.
we made them earn every yard they got.
Once again, another just tremendous game by the defensive lineman, including number 14, our prior Central County Player of the Game, Josh Smith, with just another huge game.
Oh, too tall.
Yeah, too tall. That's right. That's right. Maybe that's what will stick. But tonight we have a couple of our linebackers here.
Hmm.
One of them, which was the birthday boy on Friday night,
Yeah, but
and
we got another one, a birthday boy this week.
oh,
I mean, they were just a few days apart. Grant's Wednesday? The second?
oh,
We got coming in. Cody was Friday, Grant's Wednesday. We've already had Coach Huff's birthday.
yeah.
So, Caden was today.
Hmm.
It was just the linebackers are all within a week of each
Oh,
other.
wow. How about that?
So,
But anyway, which one are we going to start with? We going to start with with bad intentions, or we going to start with the sergeant?
we can start with bad intentions.
Oh, so we'll get Cody. Come on over. We'll line him up.
I'll let him have mine for right
Okay,
now.
we'll just yeah. We'll switch them out real fast.
That'll work.
But we'll do. We don't need to do it right now. All right, we are on the air and we're going. So we're going to begin with number 21. How how old did you turn on Friday night?
17.
17.
Mhm.
So everybody, this is number 21. This is Mr. Bad Intentions. Okay. And I say that because my young man, you could have played ball in our era back when uh when they weren't putting flags on them. When your big hit there wouldn't have been any flags on that play.
That'd been nice.
That's right. You are. I will say this: you are my favorite Rough Rider this year. I love watching you play football
Thank
because
you.
again, you play football like it was meant to be played, and that is physical. Hmm? This is number 21, baby. This is Mr. Bad Intentions himself, Cody Atkinson. Yeah. So let's talk about it, Cody. It was a very challenging physical game for us Friday because that was a pretty good offensive line and excellent
Mhm.
running back, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
y'all played against. What did you what did you think going in? What you had to do to slow down that offense?
Nothing. Just kept on doing what we knew best.
And what's that?
Just downhill,
Yeah,
fast, more physical.
that's right. And you bring the wood, right? I mean, you
Hmm.
just put the hat on them, right?
Yes, sir.
How- what's the difference this year? Because everybody, last year where the defense kind of caught a little bit of grief
Hmm.
about the amount of points that teams are scoring against us, and this year it's like it's reversed. I mean, we we're really holding teams down. What's the difference?
We just got kids who want to win this year. I
Yeah,
mean, we're just, I don't know, just.
from your perspective, how is it different? Because you had a
Hmm.
tremendous season last year,
Yes,
but
sir.
what's different about this year?
Uh, We just play together better. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not just me making tackles. I can rely on other people to help me out when I need it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's better for me.
Yeah. Well, are you seeing things quicker?
Oh
Are
yeah.
you able to
Hmm.
diagnose the play
Yeah, yeah.
faster?
A lot quicker.
How much you bench?
Bench 270, I think,
Okay.
around there.
Yeah. How fast are you?
Um 465, 46.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. You hear that? You hear that, Sark? Hey, you hear that, Sark? 270 and a 4.6, right? That's defensive end. So we're gonna get that. You know who I'm talking about?
Who?
Coach Sarkeesian.
Mm-mm.
He coaches the little university school here in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
the Longhorns,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking for folks just like you. I can promise you that. Well, so tell us what was your favorite game this year?
North DeSoto.
Oh yeah, why is
Yeah.
that?
Man, because past 2 years they beat us
Yeah,
and just it felt good winning against a team who was predicted to beat us this year too.
yeah. Did you dole out some retribution?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Yeah, that's what happens, right? When you get that, and that's the satisfying fact. That we had that happen our year. We had a team that had beat us the year before. We came out and gave them well, I can't say what we did to them. It was a butt kicking,
Yeah.
and it's just something extra special about it, right?
Yes, sir.
And well, we've got district ahead of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we start off with the big guys. We start off with
Mm-hmm.
Carthage. Uh, have you started looking at any film or anything on them yet, or is that something you're going to do in this next week?
Yeah, we started watching film today on them.
Oh yeah.
Or I have.
Hmm. I mean, they're we know they're going to be well coached.
Yeah.
Going to be a good offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to lay the smack down on them just like everybody else.
Always.
Well, tell us what's it like having Coach Huff as your coach?
It's amazing. Love the dude.
Well, you enjoy being a Rough Rider. You're 17. What do you plan to do when you go to college?
Um,
You know what you're going to study?
I don't get an engineering degree.
Engineering degree.
Mm-hmm. It's my plan.
All right. You know who has the best engineering school in the state of Texas, right?
Who?
The University of Texas Longhorn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We also play football. We were the number one team in the country to coaches. Bama's to take over, but we'll get
Mm-hmm.
them in the SEC championship game.
Yes, sir.
So tell us, who's your mom and dad?
Mom Stacy Atkinson
Hmm.
and dad Marcus Atkinson.
Yeah, yeah. I know her,
Yeah.
but she's also your publicist.
What's that?
Your mama. She's the one that makes sure that we knew it was your birthday Friday night. She got the big 21 shirt on.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
don't doubt it.
So, what's your favorite class?
In school right now?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, hmm. I don't know. I'm liking algebra 2 this
yeah.
year.
So math, yeah, because you're
Mhm.
an engineer. Do
Mhm.
you have an offensive assignment? I mean, do you have a position that you at least on paper play on offense?
Running back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get to do running back like in practice?
All the time.
Oh yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
Is it better? Is it? But surely it's not as fun as being able to hit the running back, right?
I mean, it's not, but I'd like to get some reps at running back too.
We'll see about that. Anything else you want to tell our folks? We'll have a bunch of people watching this.
Um, just come to Carthage next week. Watch us do our thing.
That sounds good. All right, Cody. You haven't been. There's some guys that can be player of the game every week. I mean, obviously Tim and TJ and those
Hmm.
guys. But I want to tell you, I want to pick you every week too because you always have. You've had a couple of the plays of the game where you just really, just I mean, just really brought the wood on somebody, and I love it. I just want you to know that I love watching you play, and I know there are a lot of folks out there. Uh, because we have a lot of folks that come to the games and even more that like watch the games, and I can tell you everybody loves watching you play.
Yes,
So
sir.
you keep at it.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, that is number 21, Mr. Bad Intentions himself, Cody Atkinson here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to another one of our linebackers, the Sergeant.
Shelby Savings Bank has a brand new look. They're proud of where they've been, where they came from starting in 1981, but now they're moving forward with locations all over East Texas to serve you. Will Lucas knows that he's standing on the backs of giants that had a vision for the financial future of Shelby County. And he and his staff are taking that future into new directions with things like mobile deposits. It's the same bank, new look. Shelby Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Welcome back to the Rick Meeks Show. He's currently not with us. He's over there
Right.
while we're talking to students players,
Talking to ball players, baby.
ball players from the live from the pizzeria. We appreciate Sabine State Bank for bringing this to us. We also appreciate, as we always do, JBI Insurance, always a part of everything we do. Joe Bill would love to talk to you about whatever your insurance needs are. We have 3 sponsors that are with us across every Center Rough Rider thing we do. ABC, Ace Hardware, Brookshire Brothers, and Covington Lumber. This is our last broadcast with Brookshire's for a while. They're going to rotate off and rotate back on. So I want to just take a moment to say Brookshire Brothers Pharmacy, Brookshire Brothers Deli, Brookshire Brothers Groceries. I even shop for clothes at Brookshire
Yeah.
Brothers. I have a lot of clothes from Brookshire Brothers, and I don't say that funny. Don't laugh at me. I'm not laughing.
Hey, Brookshire Brothers. Ain't no barcodes.
Ain't no barcodes. They check you out. They have real people. All right. Mr. Shires, counselor, tell us who we got.
We got the sergeant, number 15, Mr. Grant Gregory here. So I'm going to start off right away. You got to know this is coming.
Yeah.
You just knew that you were going to take that interception back for a touchdown, didn't you? You just knew it.
That was going through my mind. Yeah.
Let's get you a little closer up.
There we go.
Did the end zone get in the way of the catch?
Yeah. I mean, Coach Huff was telling me before, Grant, get back. He's throwing it that way. So I got back in the zone. I saw the receiver go past me.
Yeah.
And I didn't think the quarterback was going to throw it to me, but he did.
Threw
And
it to
he
you.
threw it right to me. And I put my hands out there. I looked away from the ball, and next thing I know, it was on the ground. So
Right.
that made me mad.
And you have a lot of games left between now and the end of your career.
Yeah.
I hope you get another chance
Yeah.
that sweet again.
I will.
I don't know, man.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
That's just a little too much of the Colonel in you. I
Yeah.
bet you the Colonel never had an interception.
Yeah.
No, he never did.
Not from the center position. Didn't come up much.
You get to touch the ball a lot. All right. The second thing I want to ask you is there was one of our clips that we did was one of the Shire's clips was when you just it was just a speed rush. You beat the tackle and came in and flattened the quarterback. And you jumped up and you gave this the sign.
Salute.
You gave the salute.
Sorry.
I mean, is that you?
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Yes.
No, I
I
was
mean,
trying to get y'all to see it.
we saw it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That
I mean, I
was
don't know what was the best part. It was the salute, or it was just a speed ruch. I mean, you just beat the tackle
No, yeah.
and just and splattered the quarterback.
We got a salute from Sergeant Gregory,
We
and I
did.
missed it.
We'll go back. It's recorded for
Yeah,
prosperity.
for posterity.
Prosperity.
Yeah. Well, Grant, last year you made kind of your debut into the season. You didn't start the first game.
No.
Can you remember the game where they looked at you and said, "Go in," and you just kind of really never came out? When was that in the
It
season?
was a Dangerfield game.
Okay, exactly a
Yeah,
year ago.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
I think we had I was playing inside linebacker, and they had someone at the outside back position, and they were like, "Okay, Grant, try this outside back position." And yeah, I started there, and yeah,
And
Yep.
kind of the rest is
Never
history.
gave it up.
there we go. Yeah,
What? Tell me about that game. Tell me about getting in the action. I mean, you'd played some downs before,
Yeah.
but getting in the action and feeling like this is my position, that's got to have been an exciting day.
yeah. I mean, first drive, I was pretty nervous. I had to get used to everything, but I feel like once I got in the swing of things, I was rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
You didn't play very many downs before you're making plays. So
Yeah,
you
no, yeah.
figured it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
He asked this of your colleague too. What's the difference? Every season's different, and not every season's better. But what's the differences between this season and the last one for you,
yeah.
or for the team, or for both? However you want to answer that.
I mean, Coach Meeks said it before. The difference is we're not relying on just one guy to go out there and do the whole thing for us. This time we're actually playing as a team and relying on each other, doing our jobs and doing our assignments as each position. So I think we're there as a team.
Okay. Well, let me put you on a little bit on the spot. Last year, who were you relying on? Who were the folks you were looking to instead of working as a team?
Probably Caden, Dixon, Cash Cross, and
Right.
Lance
Yeah.
Wilburn.
Definitely on offense, but
Yeah.
on
defense.
defense, there's just, I mean, it's a hands down better defense.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who were you
definitely.
looking to last year? I mean,
Cody was
Yeah.
one of the guys we were looking.
oh, that's true.
And Jermaine, he was a
Yeah,
good leader on
yeah.
that defense. But yeah,
Well, but team defense really does. I mean, that's something that's easy to say, but it looks like that's exactly what you're doing this
oh yeah,
year. Y'all have some confidence.
oh yeah, a lot.
That's great.
I mean, every time I'm ready to step on that field on defense, I'm like, we're gonna stop these guys. I don't care. We're stopping them. That's
Mhm.
I didn't have that mindset last year. This year I do.
What was the mindset last year? Because
Last
it
year-
wasn't a bad defense last year.
No, it wasn't.
It
But
was just hoping you'd stop them.
I didn't feel as confident
Okay.
as I did last year.
How much? I'm going to ask you the same question I asked in 21. I mean, how much faster are you able to diagnose what's going on?
I think a lot faster. I think I'm able to trust my ability a little more than I was last year, and it's also just watching film. Coach Huff does a pretty good job of setting us up for success and helping us get the right read so we can play faster. And I'm able to dissect that and trust that a lot more.
Yes.
Can you give me? I've never dissected an offense before.
Yeah.
I've never been in your position. I would have loved to have been. Can you give me an example? Any game
Yeah.
this week? I mean this season, where you saw something quickly, and went to it.
Yeah. for example, Madisonville game talked about all week how the yo lines up, the Y.
Hmm.
He would either go outside of the tackle, which means he's coming to me, he's blocking outside, or
Okay.
he would look inside, and you can tell that the ball was going right inside.
Just about where he was looking?
Yeah, he would look there most of the time.
Did you figure that out on your own, or was that something that you had already seen? It'd be hard to see that on tape, where the guy was looking.
Yeah, he saw it on tape. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you could see his helmet, like,
Okay.
yeah.
And
So, yeah,
so
that helped a lot.
when you saw that, you knew right where to go.
Yes, sir. I did.
Being there in advance. All right, that's
A little
pretty
bit
cool.
better, yeah.
What was it like? I mean, that's a powerful offense with a good offensive line and just a bowling ball of a running back. I mean, to have to tackle that guy play after play after play. I mean, but it looks like we were up for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that dude was a baller.
Yeah.
I got a couple missed tackles on him, but I mean,
Just basic.
Yeah.
How you coach to tackle a guy that's that big? What's the technique of getting a guy like that down?
fast you can at his legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run without his legs.
Yeah,
I'm-
that's a good point.
Now, I want to go back.
right
'Cause I've thought about this game. I mean, I've thought about this season. So, you know, when we played, I mean, Jacksonville, we kind of got out on them, and the same thing with Dangerfield. When we went up 2 scores, I think they were kind of just thinking about when they were going to go fishing the next day. But if we take North DeSoto and the Madisonville teams, and also actually Spring Hill, I mean, Spring Hill's actually able to move the ball, but I think midway through the third, start of the fourth quarter, I think we finally they got tired of us hitting them, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Is that something that y'all could feel on the field where you just where they just wouldn't? To me, when I played, you'd always tell because when the other team when that running back didn't run quite so hard up the middle anymore, right? Because they got tired of getting popped. I mean, can you tell when that's happening?
Oh yeah, Spring Hill. There was a play. I don't remember. I think it was like into third quarter, but they were like right by the goal line. And I remember like someone stood up their best player, number 4.
Yeah.
Easton just gave a liver shot to him, and that caused a fumble. And I could tell they didn't. They were like, "We're done.
Yeah.
Y'all got it."
Yeah. That's a cool feeling. And
Yeah, it is.
you can't do that anywhere else but in football, right?
Oh yeah.
Out there, it's a criminal offense,
Yeah.
right?
No, it is.
But in football, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that out there, you're arrested.
Yeah.
Do that on the field, you're awarded. It's
Oh yeah.
a strange but wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Last question. I know your family. Been around them for a very long time, and it is a football family. Your granddad played D1 ball. Your uncle did. Your dad did. How much did you talk about and live football growing up? Question A. And question B, how much different is it now that you see it from the other side? And do those conversations, have they changed?
Yeah. I mean, when I was little, all I wanted to do was play football, and me and my dad used to go out there, and he'd throw me routes and stuff and all that, and it's changed a lot now because now I'm not so much of a receiver. I'm a
Yeah.
I'm outside
You
linebacker.
two
now.
probably
I gotta-
don't go out and hit each other.
No.
I don't know if I'd still want to do
I
that.
wouldn't want to do that against the colonel. But the conversations that you have, it's probably the sort of thing that if
Yeah.
that the average person listened in, they wouldn't even understand it.
Yeah, he's like a second coach to me.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
I guess.
We always sometimes we after the games we'll watch my film. He'll tell me you need to do this. You did good on that. It's pretty cool having that experience.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it's a great
I
thing to
guess.
share. What's it like seeing him over there on the chain gang at okay.
It's pretty cool. I mean, right after I got that picked, I looked right at him. And,
Yeah.
You went, "Oh."
Did he go?
yeah.
I think I know he's across the field from the home crowd, but when you're not playing, or even if you're playing tight end and you get a first down, I think it would be great fun to go over to your dad and say, "Move the chains, man."
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be pretty cool.
That's right. That interception thing was right in front of the chains when it sure
Yeah.
was. All right.
That is great, Gregory. And
What a pleasure.
it's a pleasure to have number 15, and we hope to visit with you again before your career is done.
Appreciate it, sir.
Our sponsor of the night is East Texas Auto Motor, and this is perfectly appropriate in it because they bring us our halftime analysis, which your dad does for us.
Okay,
So well, you have to analyze what's wrong before you can fix it. That's what they do well at East Texas Auto Motor. We'll hear from them if we can, and even if we can't, we just did. And we'll be right back with more of the Coach Rick Meeks Show. When we come back, we'll have special coach guests.
Hey, y'all got a dirty truck.
Well, then take it to Joe's Car Spa for a spa day.
At Joe's, they make 'em shine.
And they're standing by to work with the community.
They was elected best of Shelby County this year, and it's called Joe's, but it probably ought to be called Reed since Reed Grant owns it.
So, Billy Don, when it's time for your car or truck to have a spa day, where do you take it?
I don't know what.
Wiggins Farms. You know, they call them the watermelon family. But the product from their farm, when the melon's just a baby, all the way through to the harvest, to your table. It's the juiciest, best melons available. Wiggins Farms, hat not included. At Hope Community Medicine, they believe that more than medicine is needed when providing quality care for their patients. With locations throughout East Texas, the vision is to give hope to those who seek a better life by caring for their body, mind, and soul, and not about their ability to pay. Through the network of staff and locations, Hope seeks to be primary provider of medical, dental, and behavioral health. Because the difference that Hope makes is the difference between night and day. Hope Community Health. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Everybody, welcome back. This is the Rick Meeks Show, brought to you live from the Pizzeria, sponsored by Sabine State Bank. And now we had the two linebackers on, and of course we had our defensive lineman, Yoss Smith, on as our player of the game a couple weeks ago. But now here's the architect, the genius behind this defensive juggernaut that we are putting on the field. Coach, welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's just begin. Talk about, I mean, it's largely the same group of young men out there this year that was out there last year. I mean, there's a few changes.
Yep.
But, I mean, we talked about, the way our team is constructed and the way we do things. It's offensive pace, so that the keep score on defense by, how many times we stop and how many turnovers you get.
Right.
This year, it seems like the guys, they get absolutely angry anytime the other team gets a first down, much less a score. And, and really I mean, just defensively, I mean, it's been like a 180.
Well, I mean, you alluded to it. We've got a group of guys who are back, particularly who played in the last 3 to 5 games of the regular season. And so a lot of them had that experience where we struggled. And there were times where we showed flashes of playing together and having success, and then, largely we struggled to put it together team defense.
Right.
And so a lot of those guys knew coming back that it was going to take a larger effort for us to play together, for us to understand our assignment, and more than anything, we talked in the offseason was trust. I got to trust that the guy next to me is going to do his part. I'm going to do my part. And I try to mention as much as I can with our players that you don't have to make the tackle to make the play.
Right, yes.
And so, structurally in our defense, Cody and Easton, our 2 inside linebackers, should make 75% of the tackle
Right.
because of the structure. And so, when you've got guys like Jamarian Smith playing in the
Mhm.
D line, and you got guys like Caleb Mosley and Grant on the edges, their job a lot of times is to simply send the
Yeah.
ball
Right.
to the unblocked defender, and structurally, it should be one of those two inside backers.
Right.
So, you can tell a lot of times if we're playing good defense by our stat lines.
Mhm.
If your inside backers are leading you in tackles, you're probably playing well. If your safeties are leading you in tackles,
Mhm.
you probably aren't, because that means the ball's getting to the next
Yeah.
level.
Right.
So, for those guys this year, there's been a ton of guys who have stepped into roles and they've owned their responsibility, and
Mhm.
they've accepted that it's my job to do this as I'm coached to do it, at the time I'm asked to do it, and then we all play together.
Yeah.
And so they're a lot of fun to coach.
Yeah. I bet.
Because you said it, they care. They are angry when the ball gets moved. They're
Yep.
not happy when they spend excuse me, more than 3 snaps on the field.
Right.
Or we don't force a turnover. Like there's pride in what they do, and when they don't meet their expectation,
Mhm.
they're not happy about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they do. I've noticed several times where Mosley does just a great job of forcing the ball back inside, so the guys coming,
Correct.
the force can come and get it. Tell me about. I mean, because we talk about, again, Jamarian, who has some monster games, and of course our linebackers. There's a big controversy going on about what number 11, what his nickname is. His grandpa came in and gave me a nickname that apparently that was not well suited by anybody else. But so I caught a bunch of grief about that, Fred. But in any event, who is? I mean, going back to my point, we know our linebackers and
I
those
think I
guys.
know where you're going with this.
Who who
Who are the not talked about
who are the
guys?
guys? Yeah, who are the unsung guys that
Sure.
that are really doing a really good job?
Well, I'm going to start with the guys up front. We've talked about Jamarian, and he gets a lot of attention just because of his size and his ability to make
Mhm.
plays with his length. But our guy right in the middle, Francisco Seferino
Yes.
Morales, Cisco,
Yes.
and you talk about a guy as a senior, didn't play much as a junior, and who made it a point. I am going to earn a spot on this team this
Mhm.
year, and he committed to that. And
His job
he
is to eat up blockers.
yeah, and he wouldn't mind me saying this. I'd say it if he was sitting right here, but if he walked in the door, you wouldn't think much.
Yeah.
But he's committed to playing with great technique, and he does a great job of controlling that midpoint for
Mhm.
us, which lets our two backers play over the top. And then you got Radney,
Yeah.
who's played all year last year.
We've
and
called
and I
Radney's name
feel
a few times.
well, the thing that I feel terrible for him right now is he's playing one-handed.
Mhm.
And so he's got the broken hand, and so he's got a club on one hand.
Yeah.
And one of his best tools is his ability to shed blocks with his hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's doing that. He's playing right now without that ability.
Right.
And so I tease him a lot of times, you miss he slides off tackles
You're
that
right.
normally he makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited for us to get that thing cut off. 'Cause
Right.
I think as soon as that cast comes off, you're going to see a side of him that we haven't seen all year, or at
Right.
least in the last 3 weeks. So those guys are two definitely that help us tremendously. And then I don't think our corners get talked about enough. Brandon Barnes,
Mhm.
aka Mista, and then J.K. Rogers.
Mhm.
Those two. Jacaden coming back started our year for us last year. We actually moved him last year to corner, and he had just a ton of growing pains
Right.
with that position.
Yeah.
And so he was committed to getting better. And then Brandon's a kid that, again, just like Cisco, he didn't see a ton of playing time as a junior.
Mhm.
When the offseason hit, committed himself to the weight room. Both of those kids, by the way, strength and conditioning side note, Brandon Barnes, Francisco Seferino Morales, made it a commitment to earn our Iron Rider
Oh,
status.
yes.
And they both did. And so think about this. Let me. If we think about those 11 that generally are on the field, we are 9 out of 11 Iron Riders.
Yes.
And so that makes a tremendous difference
does.
in why we play at a higher level as opposed to last year when we played with 4 Iron Riders.
Right.
So
And
there's a lot more that
yeah.
goes into it than
Yeah.
just football season.
Oh yeah.
And so from the time the season ended last year, all of those guys being committed to doing what they needed to do physically in our off season to then put themselves in position to be successful within their skill set.
Absolutely. And I think, Coach Meeks and I talked about this because I know I would start off the show with it. I mean, I think that was clearly the difference in the in us the Spring Hill game. I mean,
Right.
I think at the end they just didn't want any more of it because and the big fumbles and the same thing with North DeSoto. I think
Yes.
we saw that we actually I think that was the difference
Correct.
in those two games was the physicality and our strength and conditioning there. Uh, well, just to go back on the on the cornerbacks, I mean, we don't call their name very much because nobody's really people are kind of afraid to throw against us.
Right.
I mean, we played against a so-called air raid team. I mean, they
Correct.
barely threw the football because I
Correct.
think they were worried.
Correct. Well, that's going to change in
Well,
about 10 days.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's,
oh yeah,
you're going to.
oh yeah,
I think you're gonna get a different story here on October the 11th. So
yeah, oh yeah,
buckle up.
oh yeah.
So
We're looking forward to it. I mean, we're gonna next week we're gonna talk about that game, but I mean we're about to get a measurement and see where we are as a program,
sure.
and I fully expect that we're going to show ourselves well. But I mean, it was something else. That was the halftime score with Jasper was a not what we were hoping to see, but it is what it is. Who else? I mean, that's just about everybody. I mean, I kind of talked to Coach about how the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and that seems to be
Yeah,
kind of
no,
what we.
that is the no, you hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, we uh team
Yeah,
defense is what it's all about, and you got to have guys who aren't afraid to voice things that need to be voiced,
right.
hold people accountable, challenge. And so, I mean, when you're talking about all of those guys, the one that hasn't been mentioned yet is Gage Vadrine.
Yes,
And
the dream.
yeah, well, we won't let him.
That's what I've heard.
We've already had to move his helmet size up once.
Yes.
So, but no, he's not afraid to speak, and that's what's helped us a lot. Is he's a guy who he cares a lot about how we play, and he's not afraid, even though he's a sophomore,
hmm
to speak up
Yeah.
and to challenge, and then to also be the encouragement piece. And so he's done a great job of stepping into that role, and then more so from the vocal side, because you got a guy in Tim who's unbelievable. I think we know that.
Yes.
I mean, he's a very rare talent, and I hope everybody can appreciate what they get to watch him do every Friday
Yeah.
because it's not normal.
Right. Yeah.
But he's extremely quiet,
Yes.
and he leads with his play. Whereas then you've got Gage next to him, who's extremely
hmm
vocal, and so his willingness to step up and be the
Yeah.
voice on the back end that we needed somebody to step up and be
Yeah.
the voice. It all, like you said, it all fits together.
Yeah. Yeah. And quite well. I mean, Tim is. He reminds me. He reminds me of Jatarius Evans. I mean, when Jatarius was here, because Jatarius
Yeah.
played wide receiver
Yeah.
and safety, and then also the basketball. I mean, and
Correct.
that is just to have somebody like that on the team is just special.
Yep.
Anything else, Coach? What's on your mind tonight? Have you had any of the pizza?
I had pizza, and I'm about ready to get in my bed.
Oh yeah,
Take advantage of the
another
bye-
week.
of the
Yeah,
bye week
yeah,
and,
yeah.
5 weeks of games and just trying to catch up,
hmm
and then do our best to be prepared to get to work and
Yeah.
put our players in the best position we can next week.
What
Um,
what's the most pleasant surprise for you for this year? I mean, 'cause I know we all expect to be, where we are 5-0 and play like this. But did you think the defense? And we knew the defense was going to be much better. But did you think it was going to be? I mean, we were really hitting all cylinders. It seems like.
yeah, and I mean, obviously the coach in me would tell you we're not.
Well, yeah.
You know,
There's always something to
we
do.
we just sat and had a staff meeting today, and that's a good thing about the bye week is it gives you a chance to kind of do some reflecting and go do some digging on where you're at. And we found a number of things defensively that, hey, this week that we don't have a game, we need to take a step back
Yeah.
and let's readdress, reteach, rep these things again so we can clean this up. So, I guess first point is, we don't feel like we are hitting on all cylinders yet. And so we don't think our best game has been played yet. And so that's encouraging.
Yes.
You talk about what was a pleasant surprise. It really is not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise because of the growth from our kids. But the pleasant surprise for me has been the attitude and demeanor of our team. This is my 10th. This is my 10th season, and it's by far the best team I've ever coached. When you say team,
your favorite coaching year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. They are a absolute joy to go coach. They're respectful. They work hard. They love each other. They care about each other. Winning matters to them more than anything else. The accolades individually is one thing, but they really don't care. I'm every single one of them. If you walked them in here and said, "Would you rather give them a stat line or win?" They're going to say win. And so, like I said, it's not a surprise to us because we've watched them grow through off seasons and through other seasons. But to actually see it happen and come together and be able to coach that team, man, it's why you want to coach.
Yeah.
So special group.
Very good. All right. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure, and we are going to keep nagging you until we get you to go on the road with us in one of our all-season sports. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with the Rick Meeks Show here live from the pizzeria.
Chef's Barbecue and Center is open Tuesday through Friday, 10:30 to 5, and Saturdays, 10:30 to 2. Now, you can call in your order to Chef's Barbecue. You can come through the drive-thru or bring the family down for a nice family dining experience for barbecue so good.
No, we're not going to say that.
All right. Come on down to Center and enjoy some great barbecue at Chef's. How's that?
That's good, thank you.
Barbecue so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Boy, that's not on the script. I told you don't be saying that.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
Tire in Joaquin, Texas. Family owned and operated with new and used tires, general mechanics, and road services. Jesse and his team is proud to serve the community with car, truck, and commercial mag vehicle tires. They're located in Joaquin at the 84 and Highway 7 split. Call the shop today to make an appointment at 936-269-9516. That's 936-269-9516. Joaquin Tire is a proud sponsor of Game of the Week. Stop in and see them today for all of your new and used tire needs.
Here we go.
Welcome back. Thanks, everybody. And we appreciate the pizzeria for good pizza. This is just a barbecue chicken pizza.
That's the chicken buffalo ranch.
Yeah,
that's great.
I've never had it. I really like it. That's a thumbs up.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the pepperoni.
We have the Coach Meeks. This may be the
trusty.
Yeah, that's the old trusty, the roll tide.
It's like Alabama.
Yeah, this may be the show.
It just keeps on giving.
Yeah,
keeps on giving.
This may be the Shelbyville Dragon pizza because of the
Coach Wallace went to town on that pizza.
He over and grabbed a couple more pieces of it on his way out.
Coach Wallace was liking that pizza.
I like it.
So I'm just thankful, Coach, you're not mad at me.
Why is that?
Because we were texting during the Alabama game at the half, and I was like, "This one's over. There's no way."
All right, it worked out. It worked out.
I've seen a couple of different videos and some different things there, and just people just standing there at the end, just in amazement. And that's kind of the way I was at that too. I was just like, "What just happened?" And it's a great inning. Great game. Great game.
I mean, I think y'all, when Saban retired, you went out and got the second best coach in the country.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's done a great job.
Yeah.
He sure has.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
Sorry.
I tell you what, that's what's going to be so great about the SEC coming down the line here with the Texas and all them in there now. It's just going to be some great football coming up, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be awesome. I cannot wait to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it there. But yeah, but if I could break up with just one little somber thing here, if I could, just for a minute.
Yeah.
Sad news we just found out a little while ago, about an hour ago, and I don't care how everybody else feels about it, but I think he's one of the greatest ever, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But we lost the great hitter Pete Rose just a bit ago, and we also lost Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day, maybe yesterday. No. From the Rockets and stuff. So just sad to hear the two great athletes of our era. All of us know we were watching play ball. Or now going to their big court and ball field in the sky, I guess.
Yes.
You might say.
Especially Pete Rose has been a baseball player that I could identify as a baseball player my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It's when those guys disappear, it's it's a
Well, I will just
shakes you.
I'll say this: shame on you, Major League Baseball.
Right.
In between the DraftKings commercials and the MGM Grand commercials,
Shohei Ohtani, but I ain't saying nothing.
about the commercials about going and betting that you don't put Pete Rose in before he passed away. Shame on you.
That's
There
right.
you go. I'm with you on that. There you go. True.
And because this show is what it is, y'all are trembling in your boots right now.
That's right. Because
I know you
we
are.
are somebody.
Well, Coach, back here in center,
Mm-hmm.
I know that the volleyball season is in full swing. Tennis is about to start postseason. What else is going on with those guys?
So volleyball opened up district Saturday. Tough loss against Bullard, but we've got 2 home games this week, tomorrow and Friday, to keep rolling in that in those district games. And you are right. Tennis is about to start postseason. They have a non-district matchup versus Tyler Legacy Thursday here in Center, and then next week they'll kick off playoffs. And then cross country's rocking and rolling. We have our district cross country meeting next week on the 10th. So next Thursday will be our junior high and our high school cross country district meet. So we're in district. We're getting close to playoffs. We're district cross country, so they're all starting to look towards postseason and in a good position there.
Yeah, and we hope to get the tennis postseason broadcast. There are some scheduling issues since they're doing it on Monday, which this show and the fact that I teach school, we don't know, but we certainly hope to. It's one of my personal favorite things to do, and we've got a good response on it. A lot of people tune in to watch and listen, so we hope to have that here for you on NetSN. Before we do something to smile about, because this is our last one before the three of us wrap up, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so since we are not competing this coming week, we can kind of take a breath and just let you overview as quickly as you can without spending a lot of time on any particular person or team. Our district, as we've kind of gotten to the end of the pre-district season, everybody's off this week except for Carthage.
Right.
And so we kind of know their records and where they stand. I'll start kind of at the bottom. Brownsboro, they're close to the very bottom as far as the state rankings go.
Right.
Why is that? What's going on there?
I mean, they were senior heavy last year, and they just they're struggling a little bit right now. Have played better the last 2 games than they did the first 3 games. So, once we get going in district, you're not sure how they're gonna continue to progress with some of their younger talent. I do know they have one of the better receivers in the district. He has started for them since he was a sophomore, and actually has I believe he's committed to UTSA.
Wow.
And so I mean they have some pieces there. So like I said, they've played better the last couple of weeks, but they have struggled early on so far this year.
Then Rusk is not in the esteem of the state rankings, not very far up from them, around number 70. They fell a little bit last week. Things aren't going as well at Rusk as I think
Right.
even the Rusk folks thought.
I hate it for Coach Sitton. You want to talk about one of the the utmost top-notch guys in our profession. I mean, he is an unbelievable guy. We talk quite often, and just a top-notch guy. One thing with them, their quarterback last year, the Barrier kid, who was actually a move-in, has moved back to Anahuac. So they, they lost their quarterback they had last year. They have had 2 to 3 injuries up to this point with season-ending type injuries.
Wow.
And not just to any player, probably some of their better players. So they have struggled a little bit in terms of that, trying to replace a quarterback and then now dealing with injuries.
Right.
They're going to play hard, but right now they're just their backs against the wall a little bit right now with
That
kind of
explains
some
it.
things that they have faced.
Then Bullard. Bullard is kind of performing about where I thought they would, middle of the pack. But they're one of those teams that on the right day could be dangerous, right?
Right, and they've played well defensively. Their struggles have been on offense, and they have a new offensive coordinator. The guy that had been there the last few years with them, Adam Varnado, took the Sunnyvale OC job, and so they brought in another coordinator. They have went from the spread to the slot T, so they have completely changed schemes, and
Wow.
so once again, as you can look through the weeks and see they are progressively getting better. And that's going to happen with that scheme defensively. They've played well. Um, I kind of like that we get them early in district because I do think as the year goes on, they're going to give other teams in our district some problems about what they do.
And then Athens, the pre-district, the summer talk, at least folks I was talking to, there's Carthage is going to be in the top 2 or 3 spots, and then who's going to be better, Athens or Center? From a ranking standpoint, we've been ahead of them, and then in the one that I follow, they jumped 11 spots last week after their victory against Waco Connolly. That must have been quite an upset.
That's a big win for them.
And just kind of keeping up with them throughout the weeks. That once again they keep improving. They struggled week 1 against Henderson, but since then they have done a great job. So kind of the wild card from our standpoint too. And I mean, the rest of these teams have been in our district. We've played them. We've played them in sub varsities. We kind of had a feel for them. We know what to expect. Athens, we didn't really know what to expect.
We go to Athens to play other people,
right?
But never the actual.
Yes, sir. And so they've played well up to this point. So they're going to be a really good team in our district.
Okay.
Do you guys go to Athens to play that game, Chris?
We do.
Coach, you do?
Yes.
It's a great place, a great facility over there to play.
I really like the facility.
Very nice facility.
It's modern and nice, but it has a little bit of a historic flair too.
That's correct.
So that's kind of neat. And then Carthage, I don't even want to talk about them except for to ask you this. Next year, when they come to Center, what Heisman Trophy winner are we going to have for our tailgate?
We got Ben Wolf for our tailgate.
There you go. There you go.
He won my Heisman Trophy.
I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
No.
Who needs any more?
Who needs anybody else?
What? They must be scared
And speaking
of you,
of
man.
which, I have caught. You know what? For this, I was wrong on the bus last week. Jordan Horn owns the bus.
Oh,
Not Mike Wolf.
Okay.
Sorry, Jordan. Didn't mean to misspoke. I appreciate everything that you do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But you know it's a difficult time when a guy calls and says, "Nope, you told everybody that someone else owned that special service bus." I do. Now, not normally something you calling in.
I will say this about what's going on in Carthage. I don't think it's so much the school. I think there's like a financial company there that's doing this type of thing. If I remember seeing the post right, I think that's what it is. I think somebody might have an in with some of these guys
It's
or
pretty
something.
flattering, though.
But yeah, it's pretty cool to have. I mean, did Tony Dorsett go to Carthage? He didn't go to Carthage.
No.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, he just he went to up north. So I mean,
he went. Did he go to Sealy?
No, Dorsett's not from Texas. No, he played. I mean, he played at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. That's right.
But
that's right.
But he could have been in Sealy and gone to Pittsburgh. There's no law against it.
No, there's only one running back from Sealy. He took a pay cut when he went to the NFL.
That's right. That is true.
But yeah,
I knew a guy. Listen, quickly, I'll tell you. I knew a guy. He went to Columbus. and he played in Columbus when Eric Dickerson played at Sealy.
Yeah.
And he said, he said we controlled Dickerson in the first half. He said we limited him. He only had 121 yards.
That's limiting. But the second half, he got going.
He got going, yeah.
That's funny.
But you were talking about, sitting there getting, having to pound and get that Madison guy all night. Can you imagine having to go all night long tackling Eric Dickerson,
No.
even back in high school? No,
No.
I'm glad I played offensive line. Open in the hole for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it.
Well, y'all, that's pretty good. We closed this segment with something to smile about from Wyndham Family Dental, which is you get by there quickly because oftentimes they just kind of shut down for Poultry Festival as the whole Wyndham family dedicates their time to making a good time for everybody. We appreciate that.
I actually have an appointment for October the 14th for some work, and so we'll
Get the work done.
right. So after that, I'll let everybody know.
Okay. Grin at us. So what is something to smile about besides the game-winning field goal off the foot of your kicker?
Oh man, Pablo was fired up.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was so excited, and so was everybody. So obviously that is definitely something to smile about. Just seeing our kids' reaction post game and just the way they played, and we played a really good team Friday. But I feel like we're in that conversation as well too, just by the way we've played the game. So I don't know. Outside of that, and seeing some of our sponsorship commercials, I need to talk to Ben about his new updated fans at Portico.
Yeah,
those don't match ours on the sideline.
That's right.
You need one of them Apex Series coaches.
In 5 or 6 years,
I'm going to have a conversation with him, especially if I'm going to bring him back as the Heisman guy next year for our game. He's got to up our fan game.
I respect that. Make a deal.
So, two things. I was a guest judge for a first annual brisket contest during the tailgate for homecoming.
Did you go do that?
Yeah, I was one of the guests. Now they messed up because the colonel was pulling up right when I was leaving to come set up. And I was like, Colonel, why they didn't get you to be I mean, of all the guys, I mean, surely I bet you could judge brisket all day long. But we did that. It's the first annual. So we want everybody. You need to come out for the rest of the year. You need to come out over and join the tailgate thing. If we didn't have so much stuff going on, I would definitely do it. But it's a time of great fellowship. You get to get around. You get to line up for the players. You get to see the band come in. It's just terrific. But next year at homecoming, if you can cook brisket, you need to show up because the prizes are huge. I mean, it is tens of thousands of dollars for first place.
I guess I'll be doing that next year.
Yeah, put up by Ben Wolf.
Independent Wolf.
They were there at 5 a.m. Friday with the grills going, starting to cook.
It was good. It was.
Sounds like I need to get my smoker out and be ready to cook for next year. Take a game off and come out there and get it.
Start right now getting in shape.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I can cook it, bro.
I'll tell you, the margin between each brisket was so small. It was
I can
tasty.
believe it.
I'm telling you, that's the place to be on Friday nights.
Everybody, you need to come out and grill that thing up because at some point we're gonna start the show out there.
We need to.
Yeah,
that would be fun. And my thing to smile about for
they do our pregame interview, right?
That's right there.
Right,
exactly. Right there, eating some brisket.
Yeah.
My something to smile about is what you said to us on the phone, and it took both Shires and I a while for it to register. After the game, some of you went over and to relax, watched part of the game.
We did
on our broadcast.
Sure did.
When the coach watches the broadcast, that makes me smile. That's something to smile.
We turned it on and watched it. It's great. Hey, our new camera angles. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. That's the Center Motor Company Trojan camera angle.
Well, see, that was going to be something to smile about because even though Thursday night wasn't the broadcast we really wanted to have out there, we had a little bit of trouble. We got it going, but we were actually able to go out and test out some of these things. And they got the mobile down there where Shire's working on the field. We got all that stuff working, and so that makes me smile. I mean, we had a little bit of trouble, but we got it working, and it's something that we can really work on.
You don't incorporate new stuff without some growing pains.
Yeah. Well, now that we're going to mention that, so on Sunday I went to the Texan game.
Wow.
And the Texan had the CBS had their own version of the Trojan. And the only thing
Trojan is this platform he built on wheels to push our track camera around. My wife said it looked like a Trojan horse.
So that's its name.
That's where it gets.
But what I thought was cool was So it was made out of metal, and the only thing it did that ours didn't do is
It's still telescoping.
right. It had a move up and down, but it didn't. They had people pushing it just like us.
Oh yeah, so it was on the track, but they had people pushing it.
Yeah. There were
Oh
people
really? I thought it
pushing
was all. I thought it was
I thought it would all
remote.
be motorized. So so we're right
It's
there
not
with it.
remote control yet.
Yeah. So we're gonna get some elevator stuff.
Right. Hey, I'm sure we can find us some hydraulics.
Some hydraulics.
Hydraulics.
Yeah.
We'll put it all together. We'll make
Yeah.
it work. I tell you what.
We'll come
Hey,
right back.
And that was going over, but
wait. One more
But we
thing.
did have I just want to give him credit
Okay.
because we had Wade Collard and then Dr. Collard.
Doctor, we had the doc.
We had the doc that was getting those camera shots, and he was a natural, and he's hired. He's got to do it for the rest of the year.
So we got it down on the field. I watched some of the game you guys did against Madisonville, and I saw some of it. So y'all had it going out there. So it was awesome. You guys did a great job.
A guy, an optometrist. Our on the field camera operator is an optometrist, and our blimp captain is the mayor pro tem.
Right.
We are big time. We'll be right back and close this up from the pizzeria. Don't go away.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
Aurora Concepts, Primary Care Center, and just behind it, Medical Specialist Center, is a team supervised by Dr. Jane Todd and led by Don Barnes. They're professionals. They provide good family care to everyone in the family. They're also your center for testing and vaccinations. When there's something wrong and you don't know what, call Aurora Concepts.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, everybody. You are looking at them, the counselor and Larry. What's up, Ref Pierce?
Come on, Ref.
One quick, come on, Ref. What's one thing you're looking forward to Poultry Festival?
The chicken clucking contest, because I think we're going to try to get out there and cover it live here on NetSN.
How about that
If you've
live?
never seen a chicken clucking contest, you need to watch. You need to come watch it. 'Cause I'm assuming the Worshams are still performing in it.
Yeah. Well, not performing. She's kind of in charge.
Is she? So she's
gone from
judging?
She's gone from star to producer.
Because I'm going to tell you that they are professional.
Yeah, they're good.
Professional chicken
Know what they're
cluckers.
doing. And there aren't very many sports broadcasting networks anywhere that covers this.
No, it's a wild world of Wallington Shire's Pierce Productions.
Right. And Pierce, what about you? I mean, you haven't been to a bunch of them.
But every time I go, I just like I like going out and be amongst the good people out there and the food.
Yeah,
I love the food, the funnel cakes, and all the free stuff that you can win. Sign up for and win free stuff. I love that.
Not bad. Well, everybody, thank you for
come by the
tuning in.
Methodist Church. You can get booth. You can get a balloon animal.
That's right. Free balloon animal.
Yeah.
We're not charging anybody for it.
And maybe some water.
We'll sign off now, as I hope you enjoyed the Rick and Meeks Show live from the pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Thanks to Coach Hofstetter, Cody Atkinson, and Grant Gregory as our guests. And a big thank you to Steve Waters at Sabine State Bank for bringing the show to you. This week, there's no Rough Rider football, but tune in tomorrow. Larry Pierce and his Tuesday night volleyball. He'll be at Timpson. And who are they
Timpson
playing?
and Garrison.
Timpson and Garrison. So until next week, for Larry, come on, Ref Pierce, Rick the AD Meeks, and the counselor Stevie Shires, I'm just Chris. See you next week from the pizzeria. But for now, the coach has left the house.
Bam.